number 7.
The Texans beat them. Only lost this year. Came on the road against the Vikings, so they're 4-1. I think they're a bit immature and young. They lead the NFL in penalties. I think they have the potential to beat themselves in a big game. I think the Joe Mixon injury hurt C.J. Stroud. I mean, look at Caleb Williams. Now the Bears can run the ball a little bit. He looked pretty good, doesn't he? I think C.J. Stroud is excellent, one of the guys in the league I like to watch. But I do think Joe Mixon's absence. I mean, by the way, there's a reason the Bengals defense is bad. Part of it is ball control. You know, they have to score through the air. They score quickly. Joe Mixon's been underrated. I like the Texans. I'll put him at 7.
Number 6.
I want to talk about this. The Houston Texans ranked number 7. They were last week. They were 9th. So they're moving on up to the west side. And so I'm curious. I want to ask this question directly to Houston Texans fans before I go too deep into my take. I've been really high on CJ Stroud. I think he's an unbelievable quarterback and will continue to get better and better and be a truly great quarterback in the NFL. And someone in the comment section recently, I think it was actually just today, was like, oh yeah, how'd that take age, huh? CJ Stroud was super hot last season and now look at him, right? Ha 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 ha, right? And I'm like thinking to myself, like, what are you talking about? CJ Stroud has been playing great, right? Like CJ Stroud hasn't been a problem. Like, what are you talking about right now? In fact, most people were saying that he was going to fall off a cliff because now that they have tape on him. And I was like, that's nonsense and all this. So I'm curious. I want the true Houston Texans fans, right? The OGs, the ones who are, you know, not just ultra homers, although you can share your opinion too, of course. But the real fans, the real Houston Texans fans out there, who are very, you know, skeptical, critical of their team. What do you all think about CJ Stroud? Are you disappointed with how he's playing right now this year? Are you frustrated? Are you thinking, oh man, he's not as good as I thought he was going to be? Are you like, oh, I wish we had Jaden Daniels instead of CJ Stroud. I wish we had Bryce Young instead of CJ Stroud. Oh man, our team would be so good if we had Baker Mayfield or Dak Prescott or Jared Goff. Like, I'm really curious. What do you guys think about CJ Stroud? Has he been a disappointment this season? Because I'm like, I didn't even know how to respond. I don't even know if I responded to that comment because I think I might have said, what are you talking about? CJ Stroud has been great. Like this idea that CJ Stroud has been, again, they're 4-1, right? And they've struggled with their run game, which any quarterback is going to struggle. But I wouldn't even say that CJ Stroud has struggled, quite frankly. So, I mean, has he been perfect? Of course not. And as I always say, no quarterback is perfect. No quarterback is perfect, especially a second-year quarterback. I mean, we think that just because you're no longer a rookie, it's just like, well, you're no longer a rookie, so you're supposed to just be top of the league, best at everything. There you go, right? You're supposed to just reach your full peak by the second year. And it's like, well, that doesn't make any sense. You know, he was a first-year starter as a rookie. He's still he's still continuing to learn and grow and evolve and mature, right? He's still getting experience. He's still learning what defenses are going to throw him. Tom Brady famously said it wasn't until like 10 plus years that he finally felt like, okay, I've now seen everything. I've now kind of really learned as much as I'm going to learn from an experience standpoint. So it literally took Tom Brady, one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time, if not the greatest quarterback of all time, like a decade plus. But I guess CJ Stroud is supposed to have it all figured out right now. He's supposed to just know what to do in every situation. He's supposed to just throw for 40 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, never have a fumble, and he's just supposed to just win game after game after game and never lose. Like I can't even fathom comments like that, quite frankly. Like somehow CJ Stroud has been a disappointment this season, or that it's been a failure, or that he hasn't lived up to what he's supposed to be right now. I mean, the Texans are playing great. They're 4-1. They're far from perfect. They have some issues. They're going through some growing pains. They have some injury issues, right? Losing Mixon, losing Nico, like those things are happening, right? It's okay. It happens to everyone. And so this idea that there's like a fundamental issue makes no sense. So fortunately, Colin understands it and says, you know, I think CJ Stroud is excellent, because that is accurate, right? That's actually accurate. I think, like I keep saying about the Houston Texans, I think they're going to continue to get better. They're going to continue to evolve as a team, solidify their identity. Yeah, losing your main running back is definitely going to hurt you, especially a somewhat younger team with a younger quarterback, with a younger play caller and Bobby Slowick, right? There's really only a couple head coaches that can like lose some key pieces that really help your offense and just be able to work around it. And quite frankly, the only one that I can really think of right now is Andy Reid. Quite frankly, he's really the only one who can consistently do it. Not even Sean McVay, not Shanahan, not Kevin O'Connell. I mean, it's really just one of one with Andy. Andy's really the only guy who could just like lose like a million different pieces. Honestly, he's really the only one who's ever really consistently won with not a great quarterback, right? He's done it with the Philadelphia Eagles for years and years and years, getting to a Super Bowl, getting to NFC Championship games year after year after year without a Hall of Fame quarterback, which is literally unheard of, quite frankly. It is. It's unheard of. 80% of Super Bowls are won by Hall of Fame quarterbacks. So it's actually quite remarkable. And so this idea that now a young offensive coordinator in Bobby Slowick is going to be able to just like continue to make magic with some key injuries is also a bridge too far for me as well. And again, he's going to get better. He's going to evolve as well as a offensive coordinator, just as an offensive mind. But it's we're living in this world right now where there is apparently it's just this no excuses, find a way. No excuses, find a way. I don't care who's injured. I don't care what the situation is. If you're great, you find a way. Well, Lamar Jackson's really great, and he hasn't won a single Super Bowl. Joe Burrow's really great, and he hasn't won a single Super Bowl. Josh Allen is really great. He hasn't won a single Super Bowl. McVay is an unbelievable head coach. He's won one Super Bowl. He was unable to find a way with Jared Goff. He needed to get Stafford, OBJ, Von Miller, right? Shanahan, unbelievable offensive head coach, hasn't been able to find a way to just win the Super Bowl. So this whole nonsense of you just have to find a way. Do you have to find a way to a degree? Absolutely. Do you have to find a way throughout some games? Absolutely. But do you have to find a way consistently? No. If you're great, you find a way more often than not, depending on what the situation is, of course. Sometimes it's just too hard to overcome at all. But a truly great coach, quarterback, whatever it may be, will find a way more often than not, but not every single time. And this has hardly been a perfect season for the Houston Texans yet. They seem to be finding a way. They're 4-1, and I am not a live and die by the record. I am not a live and die. I'm not like, well, they're 4-1, or if they were 5-0, I wouldn't be like, they're the best team in the NFL right now. They're 5-0. Like I don't do that. There's teams that could have 2 wins, 1 win, and I could be like, they're actually a really good team. They're better than a team that has 3 wins, 4 wins, whatever it may be. But you just can't look at the Texans and think to yourself, CJ Stroud's struggling. The Texans are struggling. Are they playing their best football right now? No. But I don't really know many football teams that are playing their best football right now. And quite frankly, majority of the teams that play their best football in week 5 typically on average don't play their best football come time week 17, 18 into the playoffs. So yeah, this idea that the Texans are kind of getting a pretty strong lack of respect, and again, not from Colin Cowherd, just from fans, from other media personalities who will remain nameless. Just makes me laugh. It's just I honestly, people's perceptions of what something should be sometimes just get so skewed. It's just, yeah, it just doesn't make sense. But those are just my thoughts. I'd absolutely love to hear yours. What do you guys all think about those terrible Houston Texans and that awful CJ Stroud as his quarterback? Let me know in the comments below. I read every single comment, so whether you agree with me or disagree with me, either way, let's get in some discussions, let's get in some fights, but ultimately, let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We are building an amazing community here, and I'd absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all genuinely feel connected to, something that we're really excited to be part of. I think we're well on our way to doing it. And please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it really does help with the visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much, and see you next time.